I'll be in your plans. I think I must consider. I missed my chance. Yeah, you know, without me and you together, it's hard for me to live without regrets. In the past, nothing even got started on this start shit. We ain't start shit. This goes out to everybody out there that may be stuck in a circumstance or a situation, and they just let their future walk past. Damn. You know, I'ma just relax and reminisce on the next lifetime. Miss when we used to flirt, couldn't go too far.
Hey, you know,
people back at home.
Hey, you know, motherfucker, flight boss, bitch. Goddamn, I had to get in the motherfucking mood for this goddamn video, cause you know I had to get in the frequency vibe. You know, everything is about frequency vibe, so I advise you to ride one. Cause in this motherfucking video right here, we gonna talk about shapes and forms, but in a way that you probably never heard it before. Now, this is what you need to understand. Now, I'm gonna break it down on the third dimensional level so we can slowly but shortly rise to the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, so you can know what your spirit actually experiencing when these moments is going on. What moments? Now, you ever sat back, had a crush, liked it someone, or liked it a certain circumstance or a situation, so you had certain imaginations in your mind of how things should play out? You ever had certain goals, certain things you wanted to do, certain places you wanted to be, certain people you wanted to be around? Now, this is what you need to understand. That's what's going on in the third dimension, because that's your creativity, that's your imagination. And what you're manifesting in your life is people, places, and things. So they're playing out as characters in your movie, stars in your movie. They're actually participating as the energy signature of what you want to be around. So this star, this shape or form, this person, place, or thing is playing out the character, aka playing the energy signature of something you resonate with. Whether it's momentarily or it's for the long haul. And that's when we really get into marriage. But not marriage where we talk about government law. We talk about spiritual shit when we get into my shit. Now check this out. In the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that is what's actually happening. This person, place, or thing in the third dimension is playing out an energy signature that you resonate with in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. And you like that space. You like that area. You like that house. Now in the third dimension, this is all illusions. So the shapes and forms may play out in a multitude of ways. May play out in things that you think you don't like. May play out in ways that you think you like. But remind you, you think. So these are things that you're creating. And these terms and words put behind them, or these feelings and emotions that you feel behind them, or what have man and woman taught you to what you're supposed to think and feel about these things, you are adding that to the actual experience. So the actual experience itself, you are not seeing it in a spiritual nature. So you're not looking at the circumstance like it's a learning experience overall. And this is causing me for my spiritual expansion, or helping me for my spiritual expansion. You're looking at it from a third dimensional level like, why the fuck am I experiencing this shit? I don't want this shit. What the fuck is going on? Or, and vice versa. This is the best feeling alive. I don't ever want to leave this feeling. I don't ever want to go away from this feeling again. Then that leads into indulging and not doing things into moderation and habits. So you see what I'm saying? People are not understanding a little balanced spectrum role on what we talk about shapes and forms. So this is what you need to understand. Now this is where we're going to get into the aspect of people being sheltered and people who are free in the world. Now you have people who have been raised up in families amongst friends and family and parents that may push the child to be free. Then you have certain families and parents that push the child, will hold on to the child and hinder the child and make the child sheltered. Now, this could get into a multitude of degrees because it doesn't necessarily have to be backed and supported by your upbringing. Based upon your own natal alignment, you can shelter yourself off, close yourself off to a lot of things in the world. Then based upon your natal alignment on the flip side, You could be the type of person who put yourself out in the world. Now, there's a gift and a curse to both spectrums. And based upon your own personal experiences, that's why you came to that conclusion yourself in the first place, to put yourself in that situation of, I don't want to be out there like that. Or if you want to be out there like that. Or if you just balance. It doesn't matter to you if it is or it ain't. You see what I'm saying? But this is why I'm breaking that down. Because here's the thing. If you are a person that's sheltered to some degree, in some way, shape, or form, then the imagination that you are creating and manifesting in your life, aka the people, places, and things that is representing the energy signature that you want to resonate with, may not be to its full potential. You see what I'm saying? Based upon, if you're looking at another person who like to go out and experience, this person is not clinging on to no specific shape or form or person, place, or thing to play out the representation of the energy signature that they want to represent. Now, what do I mean by this? Because I got to break it down third dimension. So let me light this up. Now, what do I mean for all my people who trying to rise to the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension? What do I mean by this? Let me break this down into actual scenarios, right? Now, say you got a crush on a person, or you got a specific goal or something like that, right? In the third dimension, you need to know that person or that goal or that success story is an illusion. It can play out into many different shapes and forms. But for the most part, you need to know that that person, place, or thing just has certain characteristics that represents the space and the location and the energy signature you want to be in as far as your state of being in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So you need to know that, right? Now, here's a person that it may play out in a scenario of being sheltered, right? They're not spiritually inclined, so they may be unaware of this experience can be experienced on a broader level. So they put all their eggs in one basket, aka if they don't receive that experience from the person, place, or thing that they got in their mind, aka if you don't get liked by that crush, aka if you don't get accepted by that business or that job, aka if you don't get accepted by that social group or that friend, aka if things don't go right in your life, then you're going to be the type of person that feel bad and feel down because you haven't experienced any life. You haven't experienced enough experiences enough to know that that energy signature could come in many different shapes and forms. That energy signature you're chasing spiritually doesn't necessarily have to be backed and supported by the illusion, aka the person, place, or thing that you want, that you're looking at, that you want to represent that energy signature. AKA, you wouldn't want that job or that business or that career if you didn't resonate with it in some way. AKA, you wouldn't have that crush towards that person, place, or thing if you didn't resonate towards it in a certain way. But based upon your lack of experience, you may only see that energy signature coming in those ways. So when that energy signature don't come in those ways, aka that crush don't like you, that business reject you, or something like that, then you're gonna feel more down about yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because you have been sheltered to a certain degree. Now, let me break it down to a third dimensional level for a person who may not be sheltered and a person who has been promoted to express themselves in their life based upon their parents getting them into a lot of sports or getting them into a lot of social activities based upon the neighborhood, like recreational centers and things. And then you start to grow up and develop an actual understanding of how to socially put yourself out there and still be an individual. Now, if you are a person who are experienced, here's what happens to you, right? A lot of times, you are not the type of person who put all your eggs in one basket. When a person, place, or thing don't gravitate towards you on your first initial creation of it, aka what you're manifesting. Say you are the person who experienced, but you have a crush, or you have a business endeavor, or you have a success story, or you have a goal you want to get into. A person who goes out in the world experience don't put all their eggs into those illusions. They don't attach too much of the imagination to those illusions. So this will be a person who has more confidence. A person because they experience more into the world. So for the most part, when they don't see those representations of what they initially manifested, aka the initial business endeavor, the initial career, the initial crush, when they don't see these things actually aligning themselves with it, that person who's experienced will go try to find it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So even though these people still feel a little way about it, they still don't let that stop them. They still don't let that stop them from going into the next business endeavor. They still don't let that last crush stop them from crushing or just going on to someone else. You know what I'm saying? They still don't allow them to stop that. So this is a person who experienced enough to the point that 9 times out of 10, they end up stumbling into a circumstance or a situation that represent the energy that their spirit was chasing in the first place. But here's the thing. Their spirit end up going into a space vortexing even greater than they had even imagined to the illusions that they was attaching it to. So they end up crushing and getting somebody way better than the person they first was crushing. They end up getting into a business way better than the business they first was chasing. They end up finding a goal way better than the last goal. You get what I'm saying? For all my spiritually inclined people, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. This is shit. My channel is about shit you already know. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, that's where that develops at. You know what I'm saying? Now, going too far into that, when a person get too far into that, they develop too much confidence, and then that turns into ego, and then that's when you start to manifest a situation that you get proved wrong in, because that's your spirit want to experience that. You always going into a space you haven't been in before. That's why you, in the third dimension, you always want something you don't have. Then once you have it, you want something else, because once you have something for a particular time, now you want something else, unless you're lost in some realm of reality, so you come up with a bunch of justifications and indoctrinations of why you want to hold on to this, even though it's a burden and you know it's stressing you out spiritually. And that goes for marriages, relationships, children. That goes for a lot of different things. So you have to really psych your mind up here and really be careful what you're manifesting in your life, because what you're manifesting is your child. I don't give a fuck if it's a physical person. I don't give a fuck if it's a mind, a thought, a concept, a feeling, an emotion. All of these are your goddamn children. Take care of your children. Take care of your goddamn creations. And when you don't take care of your creation, they go somewhere and go have a life of their own. So don't get mad when they come back and be disgruntled and you can't control your motherfucking children. AKA you can't control your chaotic ass thoughts. AKA you can't control your chaotic ass emotions. AKA you can't control the possessions you got. AKA you can't even control the money in your goddamn pockets. Somebody reach into your pocket and take it from you. Somebody reach into your goddamn purse and take it from you. And you justifying reasonings or why you wanted to give it. Motherfucker, wake the fuck up. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get into a scenario or circumstance where we understand what we're doing ahead of time. Therefore, whatever we're manifesting is actually in our favor and it's helping us out, other than it's doing other shit. For an example, be careful with your worshiping, because you're bringing in your God. So your God, you create a shape and form, a thought and a concept and a spirit to go right into that motherfucker that resonate with that shit. So you need to understand that a lot of people, based upon their natal alignments, do this shit subconsciously. Think about parents that always be in, it doesn't matter what they lost in, it don't matter if it's a religion or whatever, it's about the true initial feeling that you feel. If you're a preacher, you're lying to a certain degree. But if you're a person in the choir or in the crowd and you're going to church because it makes you emotionally feel better and you're not getting lost into the indoctrination and try to teach things of it, this is a whole nother story. You're climbing the ladder. Now, for people like that and other people in the world where it doesn't matter, whatever you're doing, whatever you're into is actually genuinely make you feel good, and you're not coming up with too much logic and left brain rationality to construct what you're into. Whatever you're doing is just spiritually making you feel good. On that side, on that end, that don't have anything to do with an illusion. People who keep this on their state of beings, and as far as the father and the mother, a lot of times their children that they have in their lives don't be a burden, don't be a responsibility, don't be a struggle. Their children that they be born be success stories, be little Gerbert kids at 1, 2, 3 years old and get the parents all kind of money in the world. Be the motherfucking Jackson 5. Be the motherfucker when they get in their teens, be the next Steven Spielberg or the next George Lucas or the next John Singleton or you know what I'm saying, or all kind of shit. You see what I'm saying? And then you wonder why you look at people who blow up so young. And then you got to understand where their mind state was in. But regardless of the illusion, what a person's spiritual state is in, everything is a drug in the third dimension. A chair is a drug. Your ass is addicted to not wanting to stand up all the time. You see what I'm saying? Everything is a creation for you, all the way down to your solar system. These are your lightest bodies. All your solar plexus, your chakras, your planets, your physical. All these are, the lighter it is to the heavier it is. If it's something if it's something that you can attach yourself to be aware of yourself, then it is not you. It is a part of you. So it is just your vehicle that you are in as far as to be aware of yourself and for others to be aware of you based upon the collective conscious and the spiritual travel and this esoteric astral fluid big ass pool that we all swimming in. So you need to understand that you're swimming in it as your space, your spirit, your bubble. And the better you create your bubble, your shape and form, your external interior, the longer you could be a bubble. And you see bubbles expand and contract. So you need to motherfucker understand what's going on in this motherfucking realm. What's in that bubble? Your motherfucking air. Your motherfucking spirit. Motherfucker. So you need to understand this goddamn shit. So when we talk about shapes and forms, try not to get too attached to what you think you want to see as a goal, what you think you see as a success story, what you think see as something you want, a situation you want to be in, what you think see as the person you want to be with for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Be motherfucking careful, because in the third dimension that these people just play out energy signature. Like I told you, everything is an energy signature. When you go into a school, that is the accumulation of the energy signature of air and earth. What is air esoterically? Thinking, communication, communicating, analyzing, putting together puzzles, metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Information. What is earth esoterically? Practicalizing, making sense, structure, nourishing, caring, correlating. You know what I'm saying? Patience, practicalizing, making sense out of things. God damn it, when you walk in this, if you are super fire or a super water sign, you got majority of your elements in water or fire. When you walk into a school, tell me you don't feel the motherfucking wave. Tell me you don't feel like you're going against a goddamn wave. Now everybody got a mixture of some shit, but some people have, like me, I got like, I'm a little bit of mixture of shit, but your main ones is your sun, moon, and ascendant. My main ones is fire. So when I walk into goddamn school, I feel like it's a goddamn wave. I start feeling impatient. I start feeling like somebody trying to change the way I see you feel about things. I start feeling like somebody trying to change my mind. Oh shit, it's a wave. If I ain't the teacher, I can't be the student. You see what I'm saying? So you need to understand that if you're a water sign, you're going to start feeling uncomfortable. Certain words going to be said by the teacher, certain feelings, you're going to feel certain vibes by the person you sitting in front of, or the person you sitting behind, or the person you sitting next. Your ass ain't even going to be able to focus on what the teacher talking about. You see what I'm saying? If you got all water, you catching too many goddamn vibes and feeling too many goddamn moods and shit, especially if the teacher in a bad mood. You feel like it got something to do with you at that point. So if you a water sign, you're going to be like, oh, I got to get the fuck out this class. You'll make up a reason to want to go to the bathroom or go to the office. And then the teacher mood ain't had nothing to do with you, but that's how things is. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's important for every goddamn school to know about astrology. The fuck you want to know my goddamn birthday for if you don't want to know what goddamn astrological sign I am to put me in the right goddamn classes so I can learn effectively? You see what I'm saying? Shit real. But yeah, try not to connect too much with shapes and forms. You know what I'm saying? Because a shape and a form is a person, place, or thing. And in the third dimension, you need to know everything is an illusion. So yeah, a specific person can have a certain alignment within their own natal chart. For an example, whatever natal alignment you have, right? You might be air, earth, water, or fire, sun, moon, or ascendant, Mercury, or whatever, right? But look, check this out, right? You may be lacking in certain other elements. So a person that you are around may have a certain planet in that element, right? You may lack water somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You may be a water sun sign, but your motherfucking Mars may be in goddamn Earth. So you're gonna or air. So you may need so a person that you are around, they Mars may be in that air or water, or they may have that Venus in that air or water, or they motherfucking or they motherfucking sun or something maybe in that element that you don't have. So if it's their sun, the way they act, their actions, and how you see them, you see something you're missing, or you see something you want to be a part of. You see a space that you want to combine your space with. You know what I'm saying? So once you combine your space with that person's space, you're going to start to know their other attributes. And their other attributes may annoy your ass. Then you may sit back and be like, damn, this ain't really what I wanted. So really, they actions are the only thing that attracted you. But once you got into their reactions, the way they think, aka Mercury, their reactions, moon, what they love, what they appreciate, the shit they willing to compromise with, they Venus, it might be some shit you ain't in agreements with. So that you gotta think. That's why it's important to watch Archangel Uriel and be into astrology in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So you can at least understand energy, then come up with your own imaginations and analyzations about how the energy is planned out. And therefore, as long as you know what the energies are, you know what's coming and going. Therefore, you're just not lost and being disgruntled and want to hate on shit. You know what I'm saying? You're there like, okay, I know I got a starting point. Okay, now this how I do my fire. Okay, or this how I do my water. Okay, or this how I do my air. This how I do my earth. But if you don't know how them energies play out in the first place, how you don't even know where to start. So you just gonna find yourself hating on other people, or hating on astrology or something like that. Oh, they don't know what the fuck they talk about. That's because the person you first started getting into, or it probably was a newspaper or something. And let me stop hating on the newspaper. Y'all stop hating on the newspaper, because goddamn, I seen the newspaper the other day, and whoever writing the shit in the newspaper now, they into the shit too. They on the shit too. So nigga, when you even motherfuckers who in the newspaper, goddamn it, they into the shit too. I done seen the shit they talk about the horoscope. I seen the paragraph on the side. Whoever was writing it, I forgot to look at the person who was writing it, because I would have shouted them out. They said, don't forget you got a moon sign too and shit like that. Okay, I'm like, okay, I get on board now. Okay. Even though that shit old now. But okay, we can't hate on that now. Whoever writing the newspapers now, they get with the shit now too. They get with the program too. So, it's some shit. The world changing. I fucked with y'all. Flight bus, bitch. Goddamn. Air.